I went to school here in town. We still had our school. A lot of good friends, a lot of good memories of that, and then also my high school days, and rode a bus 7 miles to school for that. I don't know, wintertime we did a lot of ice skating on the Ponca Creek. And,
oh, that's really fun.
And there were usually boys from Lynch would a lot of times skate down, and we'd all skate around down here. And we did a lot of sleigh riding on the hills pretty much north of town here.
Oh,
those kind of things. We did all that as I was a kid growing up.
Did you ever sing Christmas carols, or did you do any choirs or anything like that? Was there any sort of art incorporated into the education?
No, not particularly. We had Christmas programs. The whole 8 grades would go together at Christmas time, and the little ones would speak pieces and the bigger ones might have a little play and that kind of stuff. Just on a small scale, parents would all come, and it was a big, exciting time. But
that is really, really neat. Anything, because I know there's been a lot of talk over the internet and that type of thing about the town. Do you feel like there's any misconception about the town at all that you would like to get straight for the record, or anything like that about how people view it, or?
A lot of them I think that I'm not very smart to stay out like this, but it's what I like. It's what I want to be. We were here for so long. I grew up. I know people for miles and miles and miles around. And I go at Christmas time. I'm going to Tucson, spend Christmas with my daughter down there. She'll be here next week, and she'll help me with deer season. That's a real busy time. And it'll be 2 years this June. We took a trip to Germany to see my grandson, who's going to college over there. But like going to my daughter's, I go for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm ready to come home again. This is home.
That's wonderful. Home is where the heart is. That's great. That's really great. Well, thank you very, very much. Yeah, I really, really appreciate you. Have a beautiful place and beautiful home, and it has been a pleasure to be able to come out here and talk with you.
Well, thank you for making the effort.
Well, it was okay. So I know that the library is called Rudy's Library, and it is in honor of your husband.
That's right.
Is that correct? Just tell us a little bit about the library. What types of books are in there? How long it's been there? How many people have visited it? And just any other information that you can offer us.
Yeah. Well, it was something he'd wanted to do for many years. He had all kinds of books, and he had them stored all over town. Everywhere he could find room, he had boxes of books. So he finally got the building and had it. It was just a bare building. He had the shelves and things built into it. And then he got sick with cancer, and he didn't live to see his books go into there. He passed away in January, and then we had a granddaughter that graduated high school in May. So my son and daughter and a couple of nephews then came after the graduation and spent a couple days getting books in. Excuse me, that would have been in May of '04. And my daughter started out trying to kind of categorize and line them up and so forth, but people pick one off, and I do the same thing. I'll sometimes stop and pick up a book to read, and then when I take it back, I'm not sure where I got it. But there's a lot of westerns, like I said, but there are some of the old classics, some of the, there's hardbound, there's paperbacks, there's a lot of National Geographics. There's there's some old local newspapers, and I've been keeping them now. Finally dawned on me that 20 years down the road, people would be interested in them, just like I'm interested in these old ones, So there's some encyclopedias, and there's dictionaries,
And I've heard it was featured on the Today Show, is that correct?
And CBS Sunday Morning.
Did you get to watch those when they were featured on there, or did you?
Well, they came here and made them. They came here and made them, then they sent me DVDs. I have DVDs of them.
It's really, really
And the People magazine was here, and a reporter from the Los Angeles Times was here. And
did they do the stories on Monowi? Did they do it on you, or was it
combination? It was a combination. It was just when the Los Angeles Times lady was here, I believe my son might have been here. Maybe not. I can't remember. And then the London Times sent a reporter and a photographer, and I did that one by myself. And then when NBC was here for the Today Show, my son and daughter both came home and that. And then when CBS, I did that one by myself too. And the People magazine I did by myself.
Were you surprised that all these people were so interested in the town?
Yes, I really was. I mean, it just got to be fun. We had a lot of fun with it, really.
Uh-huh.
It just got to be a lot of fun. You just, you know, I had calls from all over, from various television shows and all kinds of stuff. Nothing ever came of any of those, you know, because they'd call and, you know, like the Jay Leno show, I finally told that girl, I said, if this isn't leading anywhere, I have got a life to live and a business to run, and I'm not interested anymore. So then I didn't hear anything from them. I mean, it would have been fun, but probably made me look like an idiot on there, but then it would, you know. But as far as them coming here and so forth, we had a lot of fun, and all the locals just joined right in and had a lot of fun with it, you know. And
that's really cool. I mean, a lot of places tried to get that type of coverage and can't, and so to have a town like Monowi.
Well, really what kind of spurred it all off was Paul Hamill at the Omaha World Herald has written through the years quite a lot of articles on my husband and I because of the smallness and all that. So when Rudy passed away, he wrote a real nice article, and my daughter told him that we were going to get the books put in there. So he said, well, let me know when you do. And we did, and he wrote another article. But then it just so happened, it would have been, I guess, about a year later, a lady from the Los Angeles Times was doing research on so many libraries in small towns closing because they couldn't afford them. And she runs across this where a town of one opened a library. So she called and wanted to know if she could come, and I'm sure, I didn't care. And that was the first one. That's what set it off. And it's been, I've heard from all over the world, and I've had visitors from Denmark and Germany and England and France and Australia, Switzerland, Guatemala, besides all around the United States. I've had visitors.
That is really, really neat.
But everybody's so nice about it, you know. Nobody, well, how come they're doing something there, you know. Everybody just joined in, and we had a lot of fun with it.
That's really wonderful. Well, thank you so much again, Elsie. It has been an absolute pleasure.